What's up, everyone? We're back. It is time. It is time to finish Symphonic Rain. Tonight will be the last night of this game, this master class, and I am very, very excited. We've been going on this one for such a long time now, and it's cool to finally finish it. I think this would be the first VN I've actually finished through stream, and you know, it's one that I'll never forget. Some of you guys who follow me and more so or more on my like Twitter and VNDB profile and stuff like that, whenever I get new projects, you guys already know that I've already given this game a rating. Now the rating that I have for this game is a placeholder, and if I need to go higher, then it will need to go higher. And honestly, it really depends on this grand finale route. But the placeholder that I have right now for this game is a 9.3, if I remember correctly, and I think that's a perfect placement for it. I don't know if it can go any higher. If I shed a tear at this final route, that's going up to a 0.5. But there's a few things that keep it away from being a 10. Sometimes the voice acting is a little weird and it feels a little robotic. Sometimes, you know, some of the writing I was just like, eh. But the music, the story, everything else is just spectacular. I very rarely give games like a very high rating, and to say the least, this one was well deserved. So according to a buddy of mine, I only have probably about 30-45 minutes left of this, and then that'll be all. So, per usual, when I finish the game, I'm going to go ahead and give like a 5-minute synopsis of what I enjoyed, what I did enjoy. And then I'll be on to playing some Summer Pockets if I have the emotional... if I could take it, I guess I should say. I don't know if this game's gonna break me or not, but I don't think it will. I haven't cried, but it's definitely come close. And then it's gonna be all Summer Pockets and Final Fantasy VII for here. Yeah, the Celestia route broke quite a few people. I remember that. I think that's probably the most emotional I've been to. Alright, intro done. Here we go. I don't remember where we left off. I think we were just hanging out with Forney and going home every day. I have my walkthrough up, but I really don't remember even what... Oh! Don't remember what date we were on. Assuming it was this one. Yes it was. Okay, cool then. I let Forney sit in my palm and brought it to the top of the desk. Is it always like that? Always. Forney's mood had improved. What could I say? I mean, I thought of something to say, but what I said was going to be a bit mean, so I struggled to find other words. Rock climbing. It's the name of the sport that you're doing that you resemble. What I thought was actually completely different, but I guess that's how I best explain it. I'm sure that it was in the book that I lent to Asano. I had never seen rock climbing in real life, but I'm assuming what she was doing is probably what it looked like. Of course, Forney wouldn't know about such things, so would only be puzzled, but Forney detected my crooked smile and the subtle changes in my expression and remained suspicious. What you just told me was a lie, right? I could tell. What are you talking about? If you don't tell me, I'm going to stop laying towels out for you. I can't have that, but you'll get angry. If you promise to lay out towels no matter what, I'll tell you. Something that would anger me? I'd never make such a promise. I see. Well, it's a shame, but I'll just prepare the towels myself from tomorrow. Don't stop there, I want to know. In any case, do you promise? After seeing I wasn't giving in, she thought for a while and finally nodded. It was a little bug-like, just a little. Bug-like? Climbing up a vertical wall, taking flight, crashing into a desk. It's a tiny resemblance to rock climbing. That's kind of what she did. Chris, just stop talking right there. Say anything else, it'll sound like an excuse. Right. I'm sorry. Okay, now what? It seems like you've come back early today. What about practice? I'm taking a break. Fortelli playing will just get rusty if you do that. What are you saying? Show some commitment to the project. You've come home without practicing and said horrible things to poor, unappreciated Forney. In this situation, how are you going to show your commitment? By saying I'm sorry to you? An ensemble? Well done. So be it. Anyway, came thinking it'd be better than practicing by myself. I guess I don't mind. How perfect. That's right. There's still time before dinner. Want to practice? Alright. As expected, she couldn't stay mad for long. That's what makes her adorable. You could call her childish, naive, but I found her new and refreshing. Though, the fact that she hadn't matured at all in the last 3 years, she looked the same, that might be a slight problem. What song are we going to play? Let me see. Yesterday's song was still a work in progress. It was a piece written for Forney, in a sense, but it wasn't ready to be performed. I'll just leave it till it's complete. Usual. Same thing as always? It works for me. Then let's start. Okay. In that way, though I didn't practice at school, I made up for it by playing at home. It felt like I was running away from the impending graduation recital, but looking at Forney's smile, it seemed okay just to run away for a while. Alright. It'd be better perform when I did meet someone. Wait, what? Compose? Okay, let's do some writing songs. Alright. Now we're gonna go home again. I stepped outside and thought about coming home early. Perhaps the reason was my concern for Forney, who was always waiting at home. I couldn't take things easily when the graduation recital was considered. Even so, I wanted to take off for that. Hello, best girl. Hi. While walking down the hallway, I met Fal near the entrance. Now that I think about it, we had talked about playing together sometime this week. Going home already? I was walking home from the cafeteria, to the entrance. She knew. As I tried to come up with an excuse, she sensed what I was doing and spoke kindly. You know, with our promise, it doesn't have to be today. It could be next week, any time, really. I'm sorry. Don't be. Come by again whenever you're free. I didn't mean to put it that way, but Fal was already heading to the practice rooms at the end of the hallway. That was the end of the conversation. You could call her easygoing? I guess. I'd simply met her on the way home, and it wasn't that serious of an invitation anyways. But now it was certain that approaching her would be hard. Perhaps it'd be best to leave Fal alone. She probably wasn't serious about her invitation either. While thinking about these things, I rushed back home. I hesitated for a while in front of the door. Previously, it was around the time Forney prepared the towel. I didn't think it would happen again, but I opened the door and peeked inside. The bug was in the building. The dropping towel brought a kind of melancholy to the room. Without changing her position, she stopped moving. She really didn't have to try so hard to emulate a bug. Come on, Forney. I wanted to cheer her on like last time. I made it at last. Looking very pleased, she wiped the sweat from her brow. Of course, fairies don't sweat. This time, I kept my applause on the inside. Just like the resisting to the urge to praise a young child who manages to perform a task. Now for the return trip, and then she flew towards the desk and crashed into it. On purpose? Did she see me? Was she trying to make me laugh again? Somehow I managed to suppress the laughter. I hate that desk, it's always in the way. Always! Listening to her speak to herself was tiring. She smacked the hateful desk leg a few times and tried once more to climb it. I left the towel where it wasn't entered. I'm back. Hold on. I picked up her tiny body and put it on the desk. Thanks for the towel. Thank you. You're welcome. Thankfully, she didn't seem to have noticed me spying on her. Her guileless reaction was adorable. You're a little too early today. Do you want to perform an ensemble? Do I perhaps sense that something's bothering you? It pains me that my goodwill is met with such cynicism. To be honest, I'll practice it all by myself. Ah, just kidding, I love ensembles. Alright, well, good. You should be more open. Are you making a fool of me? No, honestly, I'm not. That really was the truth. Forney was cheerful, good-natured. She was a little selfish and a constant source of encouragement, though. I lived with Ari and Torta for so long, and when I finally started living on my own, it was thanks to Forney that I never felt alone. Of course, there was Asano at school, Torta who had grown a little distant. I guess I was never completely alone. But even so, her presence was especially important to me. Chris, you were making a very strange face right now. While Lawson thought I'd stared at her, apparently. A strange face? What kind? Strange for you, a really kind and sweet one. What's strange about that? Don't make that face to other girls, okay? I won't. If I did, it would only be to Arietta. Based. I see how it is. She made a bored face and flapped her wings restlessly. The bug image resurfaced in my mind in addition to a new one. She's like a pet. Well, let's begin. Okay. For the rest of the day, we kept performing ensembles. That was a time when I was truly happy. Wow. The wholesome and trad route. Practice room. Compose. The song was nearing completion. With that, I went home where Phony was waiting. It was a hard day of rest. Without anything, I just stayed in bed and read all day. Touching the fortelli, I remember the song I was working on. Come to think of it, the song I wrote in the practice room wasn't finished yet. Forney hadn't appeared yet today, so it was probably a good time to do it. I took out an unfinished score and placed it on the desk. Then I removed my fortelli and put it next to the desk. I hit a single note as if to drown out the sound of the rain against the window. I guess I finished it. I was satisfied with how the finished score turned out. Hey, what's finished? Don't tell me that's a new song you just wrote. When did you... I appeared this second, of course. You're hiding something, aren't you? No, I'm not hiding anything. I'm just a little surprised. I was composing. This is a great song. When did you write it? Recently, I guess. This is my first time hearing it, so you don't mean this week, do you? You don't have that kind of time on your hands. Things just happen. So it is true. You have come back a few times early this week, right? So when did you compose it? Those days I came back late. No guessing. This song wasn't written in a day. No way. Just to be sure. 3 days? Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah, 3 days. Those are all the days you didn't come back early. I give up. A whole week's gone by. Why are you so worried about the week? I said I'd be okay. I don't understand where your unfounded peace of mind is coming from. Torta and Eri both said you had to decide soon. But if I'm playing just aimlessly, there's no telling something will come out of it. That's why I'm writing songs that I want to play to help me with my graduation recital. Compose all you want, but is there anyone who will sing it for you? I'm looking for someone. Well, then you're in trouble. But the song's finished. I just need to find someone to sing it. Everyone has their own song already, so I'll just have to find someone else. Well, what? Unfortunately, it's Saturday, so no one's gonna be at school, which means I don't have anyone to practice my new song with. Whatever should I do? Well, until you find someone, could I practice with you? As I expected, you know just how to play along. Want to try it once? If that's what it's gonna be, then fine. She's moving her wings. What should we do about the score? I only have a copy. I don't need one. I'll just follow your lead. Reliable as always. Well, yeah, musical fairy here, hello. Where are your lyrics? There's no lyrics written down. Oh, I didn't think about them yet. Well, what should we do? I don't like just randomly singing. I wrote this song for Forney, but I'd feel embarrassed saying that, so I kept it a secret. I could tell her at the end, but definitely not now. But since it was her song, I thought it'd be good for her to get involved, then I had an idea. You want to write the lyrics for this one? Me? After all, there was no way I could look for a potential partner. In other words, I didn't plan on performing with anyone else, but to what end? It was pointless to think about it anyway. Forney would just sing it excellently, as always. Music shouldn't be a means. Music is always an end in itself. The end is one's enjoyment of sound, and performances such as the graduation recital, which was ultimately to the opinions of others, actually miss the original point of music. That said, my graduation depended on it, so I couldn't possibly skip it. In the real world, it would be impossible to get by just playing what you like. I wasn't a child, I understood it that much. But for now, I wanted to play without any care for such things. I had written a song for my own purpose and had been blessed with a singer. Forney would sing the song written for her. Could there be any more perfect arrangement than that? And so I kept selling the idea to her. Well, the truth is I don't seem to have any talent for lyrics. Aston will help me write the words to every single one of the songs I've composed. Really? I had no idea. Well, I'm not proud of it, that's why I just haven't told you. So, are you up to sing? To be honest, I haven't written much either, so I'm not sure if I could do it right. That's fine, just sing whatever you feel. After all, it's impossible to write the whole thing in one go, so we can just do it bit by bit. Is it truly okay for me to do this? I want you to do this. Only you can do this. I couldn't just say that yet. I'll tell her after our song was finished. I was starting to look forward to that moment. I also took pleasure in the thought that my song would be complete once the lyrics were finished. So you'll do it then? Okay, Chris. Only since you're not good at it, I'll have to help you out. Thank you. At first, I was trying to distract Forney, but the more we talked about it, the more I became convinced this was the only and true way. She would write the words to her own song, and Forney herself would sing them. This music could not be heard by anyone else, but that would be the highest form of music. Even if the only ones satisfied with our performance were her and I wouldn't mind. I'll play it from the start. You want to listen first? I'll sing. Sure, just don't worry about the lyrics. I don't have a choice. Let's begin. Night fell and we continued practicing. I wouldn't do it for even to think that this was rare. I want to change the lyrics. You're getting into it now. Well, of course, if I'm making something, I want it to be good. I know the feeling. Go ahead, change them. Let's see. I rewrote the lyrics as she said. The lyrics were positives, just like her. I know I didn't have much of a talent for poetry, so I rarely wrote any lyrics. When I did write, I felt like most of my poems were retrospective and reflecting on my past. That's why it was such a fun and refreshing exercise. And that's half of it done. It's coming together nicely now, isn't it? You think so? I'm happy to hear that. It's not finished yet, but let's give it a go. Okay. Oh, it's actually going to let me play it. Is this Faye? It is Faye. I want one wish to be your strength. See it now. Come with me. Kindness is the greatest gift. I don't ask for any rewards because of only love. Wait, that was only like the first half of the song. Oh. I guess that was the point. Sounds good to me. Yeah, it's only been one day, but we sure have come a long way, huh? She was enjoying herself so much she'd probably go on to sing for me after all. I wasn't planning on practicing my recital song over the weekend, so I was able to genuinely enjoy the time we had together. Yeah, I was surprised it was in English too. But as Forney said, I knew I had to take things more seriously from next week, so there wouldn't be any more moments like this. Was it possible for us to spend time like this together forever? Well, one more time from the top. Yes, sir. We'd had dinner and it was night. I was getting tired but couldn't find the right time to stop. Forney and I had just figured out how the song worked, experimenting as we performed. As opposed to just saying this kind of practice was causing a little tension. That too was enjoyable in a way, so the musician in me was conflicted. Perhaps the fortelli should be a little softer here. Yeah, I see. Yeah, we should be emphasizing the words here. I'll make a note in the score. As we had more of these discussions, the score became messier and messier. Normally I didn't mind, but there's been so many changes to the lyrics it was getting hard to read. Forney didn't need the score because the music wasn't her concern and the lyrics were just things she wrote down. I may not have been bothered, but it was an average human with no way of following this rapidly changing song without the score. It also depended on how many times more lyric edits we'd have, but I felt like the need to make at least one clean copy of the score. What's up? Nah, nothing. Forney would get mad at me if I did that at home, so I had to find a practice room at school. Well, I had a good time today. Is this the first time we've done a whole day of ensembles? I think it's happened once before. I don't remember it so well, but I think it was a while ago. Yeah, that was the first time we met. We went on until nighttime. You're right, those were good times. Has it already been 3 years since we've met? Seems like it's such a long time ago, but at the same time, maybe not. She was getting a little sentimental. Her mind was elsewhere. At first, there were times where I didn't know what to do with her, but after we bonded through music, those frustrations just vanished. We have over 3 months left, so the song can be made perfect, right? Yeah, for sure. Wait. Something's not right. What? Finishing the song isn't our goal. You can just sit down and focus on your graduation recital. There is that too, I guess. Stop supposing you don't have time to perform a random ensemble with me. You need to graduate. Even so, I usually have no plans for Saturdays, and I've played the fortelli for the whole day, so hey, this is better than my normal Saturday, isn't it? Yeah, before the graduation recital came along, things are different now. So you don't plan on having Sunday ensembles then? Alright, this game goes to a 9.5 if Forney's revealed as Arietta, he goes back, Arietta lives in this route, and then she sings at the graduation recital. That would probably bring me to tears, though, like, no joke. Starting Monday, you need to find a partner, no more practicing for the song. This Sunday will be the same as always, though, right? Yes. Just when I thought she got mad, she answered honestly, after a slight hesitation. Oh, see, now you're onto something. Good, you should be more open. Well, I don't want to see you coming back home early anymore. Do you hear me? Got it. It's a promise? Yeah, it's a promise. As if to hide her embarrassment, she disappeared. She was right, but I wasn't going to be so compliant. What I really wanted to do was make a clean copy of the score and finish the song we wrote. It was true that doing what Forney said should be best. I knew that, and so I was conflicted. What was I going to do Monday? Or the real question, maybe, what am I doing now? I hadn't asked her out of fear, but what was Forney going to do after I left? The time would come when I'd have to talk to her about that. I had a, okay. We've already read. Isn't Forney with them at this part? In the end, I couldn't do what Forney said to me 2 nights ago. There was something more important now than practicing with others. I doubted anyone would approve what I was gonna do. I mean, it could come in handy in the future, but that wasn't even a certainty. They would all question why I chose to do it now of all times. On the contrary, if there'd been someone else in my same position, I probably would have stopped them. I intend to rewrite my score, which have been covered in notes and edits. Did we really say this? I placed a fresh sheet of music on my hand and started copying. I kept all the notes and symbols we decided, even the smallest footnotes, and of course, her lyrics. I wasn't good at copying scores, so I never thought of doing it unless absolutely necessary. But today, it was pretty smooth. It'd be impossible to finish it today, but with one more day I could have a clean, usable score. I'd have to make sure Forney didn't see it. It'd be great to have another ensemble. Maybe this Sunday we could. But there was a possibility of Forney getting mad and refusing to sing. I'd have to get serious about my recital soon. I still had all the option of forgetting about the song completely, just as she said. With that thought, I went home for the day. Having abandoned all appointments and practice plans, I was in the practice room alone. I'd grown fond of the score I was copying, which is important to me as what Forney was. Forney's song was nearly done. All that was needed were the lyrics she wanted to sing. To anyone else, this was probably meaningless, but hey, for what it's worth, I didn't regret a single moment. I'd make a little time for it tomorrow and I'd find out how the lyrics were coming along. It should be done by the end of the week. And to celebrate, we'll perform it once and I think about what to do next. For now, that was enough. Alright, that should do it. Looking at my nearly finished score, I realized how much satisfaction I felt. I was thinking of only a happy future where the two of us were just performing the song forever. Even if that was just a passing fantasy, I didn't mind at all. So, I guess we have the option to go home. Oh wait, this is the final option. Oh my. I waited for the right time to go home as Forney would get suspicious. Today I stopped by the practice rooms, but I was playing that song instead. I'm home! Welcome back. I dried my hair with a towel and went inside. I probably shouldn't have mentioned the copied score in my bag until Sunday, but I'd been practicing so I wanted to perform it. I began dinner preparations, but on the inside I eagerly hoped that she would broach the subject. Forney didn't eat dinner, so we didn't have too many conversations, but after dinner she suddenly narrowed her eyes and spoke. Something's a little off here. Huh? This isn't the Chris I know. Are you hiding something? No. She was sharp, that's for sure, but had she made the connection to that song? That's an unnatural pause for you right there. Speaking of, haven't you come home early this whole week? I think it's normal if I'm practicing with others. I think if... What? For the past 3 days, who'd you been practicing with? Why would you ask? It doesn't matter. Chris, you're so terrible at lying. If you wanted to even try to fool me, you could have just said 3 random names, but you couldn't even do that. You seem pretty sure I was lying. You bet I am, but when someone doubts you, just don't get defensive, just rattle off some random names. And if you really wanted to lie, you should have just said, this is when I always come home after practicing with others. Okay, I admit it. She was right, I wasn't good at lying. More accurately, I didn't like to lie. I'd be fine with saying that I practiced like I was supposed to, but I wouldn't want to give names like Torta and so on. If all it took was one word, I would feel too much guilt. But when the next question came, I'd have to lie to her again. I hated the chains of lies that I was spinning. Of course, I could have just ended it there, but I didn't want to deceive her any further, so I just told her everything. Remember the song we practiced? I spent Monday and Tuesday copying, and I practiced it today. Despite all the things they said about graduation, you practiced it even? She seemed appalled and didn't show any signs of anger. Perhaps she was expecting something like this after noticing I was coming home a little early. I wanted to finish it. I felt anxious to finish it, as I felt when the musical idea first came. What would she do after I left, or rather, what would become of her? I hadn't been able to ask that question because I knew the answer wouldn't change or would change our relationship forever. Maybe now was the time. What's with that face? Are you going to tell me why? If you ask, I'll say. She made a frustrated face and motioned for me to speak first. I wrote the song for you. The idea for it came to me when I thought of you, and that's why I wanted you to write the lyrics to your own song. I wasn't sure if I had time to start I wasn't sure if I could finish it once I started practicing for the graduation recital. So if I could finish the song and perform an ensemble and finish this all up on Sunday, it'd be great so I could work on the graduation recital. That's your reason? Yes. Even though that's sneaky, I can't get mad at you. That's not like you. Usually you'd get mad at me anyway. There's no fooling you. You are sneaky, aren't you? Then Forney looked away. I'm happy. I am, and I mean that. But Chris, you understand that you must practice in order to graduate, right? More or less. Then stop thinking about the song for now. Wait until after the graduation recital, okay? But there's not going to be enough time. After February and the graduation ceremony, I'm not going to stay in the city anymore. Come on, you at least have 10 days after graduation. That was far too short a time to be reminiscing with a companion of 3 whole years. I thought I heard a forced note in Forney's apparently calm voice, but perhaps that was just wishful thinking. Anyway, you have to practice properly at school from tomorrow, got it? Answer me. You know, I've only told you nothing but lies about the song, and your words aren't going to change that. Besides, I don't think I could keep that promise. 2 girls I got to know as potential partners for the graduation recital, and 1 who'd always been close to me from the start of my life. It'd be realistic to choose one of those 3, but I just didn't feel like it. Actually, I was thinking of relying on Cordell, who's just going to bring me some rando. Meeting and talking to this person seemed much easier than dealing with those 3 potentials. Of course, I knew that things would be the same once we met, but at least I didn't have to think about that for now. Well, keep it. Surely you can do that. I'll try. Well, fine. I'm going with you tomorrow then. I'll see if you're actually going to be practicing. What? Yep. I'm going with you to school. I promise not to get in the way of practice so there will be no problem. You can't just say that. Nope, people who don't keep their word to practice do not get any choice in the matter. Hey, that's... Your answer? Okay. Good boy. Forney nodded, looking very satisfied, and asked me many questions about tomorrow. What time I'd wake up, who would be with. She asked about Cordell, irrelevant things like what I always ate, what the cafeteria was like. But she seemed happy, so I guess I didn't mind. Besides, we'd like to spend more time together this way. I still had to decide on a partner, but I felt like I was headed towards a different future than what I was before. As I prepared for school at the usual time, Forney seemed restless. Shouldn't we hurry up? No, not at this time. We'll be even earlier than I usually am. Really? Well, I'm almost ready. Just wait. Okay. I put on my jacket and stood at the front door. Forney was already there, so I put it on my shoulder and opened it up. There's no need to say I'm heading out today, is there? I guess it doesn't hurt. See you later. Well, it was always meant for you. For me, I thought you were just speaking to yourself. I mean, I thought you were being polite? Oh, well, that wasn't necessary. I'm kidding, of course I knew that. With a smile that suggested otherwise, she turned and said, "See you later," once again to the empty room. Is it this way? Yeah, it's this way. We're headed to the school right now, so you don't need an explanation, right? I mean, it's not like you're doing the walking anyway. Hey, that's besides the point. It's been so long since I've done this. That's true. Looking at Forney happily taking the city, I remembered that it really had been a long time for her. She seemed very pleased to be outside. In the first place, she'd never really shown interest in going out, so I'd always assumed she didn't care. Or perhaps she was just excited to see the school for the first time. Are you happy? Of course I am, it's been a while. Her wings moved gently, which tickled my ear. Hey, sit still. Sorry. Are you that happy about going to school? You're just gonna keep keeping an eye on me, and no singing, you'll disrupt practice. I heard you the first time. Besides, school may be fun, but right now I'm enjoying being outside. You can just go whenever you want, you know. You can't fly high, but you can get around on foot, I'm sure. True, but between this and going out by myself, but you know. I didn't mean it like that. It's just not like I want to go all the way out. It's just I feel happy on an occasion like this. Really? Really. Somehow she was lying. It'd be different if we knew we're talking about going out every day, but Forney only went outside a few times each year. She'd always said it was okay, so I never really thought much thought. Seeing Forney enjoy herself like this made me realize what a stupid assumption I'd made. Had I been oblivious to her the whole time? Now that I was going to part ways with her, I was suddenly paying attention to more of the things she said. If Forney was okay with it, I wanted to pay even more attention to her. I continued our conversation. I should have thought about bringing you to school sooner. You probably don't need them, but you might find things interesting, like maybe music theory, music lessons. I'm good. That's Torta's rule. Huh? Torta's role? Nothing. Cordell's gonna be upset if you don't hurry. Pointing ahead, she flapped her wings to hurry at me. We didn't have much time to chat after that, but one thing stayed in my mind. Torta's role. I was sure that's what she said. That seemed like a long time ago, but actually may have been just before I came to the city. I had asked Ari to come out with me to the music school, and all three of us to go at the same time. Ari had realized that music wasn't her thing, and she was focused on other pursuits while remaining in the school. She did things that she liked, cooking, cleaning, laundry. That's why her reply said the same as Forney's. No, that's Torta's role. I didn't know at the time why they divided themselves up that way, and even now I still couldn't tell you. Did Forney feel the same way Ari did? If I could figure out the reason, I'd probably understand Forney and Ari both a lot better. Noticing my gaze, Forney turned and spoke gently. That just reminded me of Arietta for some reason. No, nothing. Good morning. You're a little late. Really, just a little. I probably walked too slow, or maybe I'd been focused on our conversation. It's because you kept stopping to think about things. Yes, Forney, I know. I placed her on top of the desk in the classroom. What are you... Odd. Well, let's begin. Same song as always? Nope, I want to practice a new song. A new song? I don't mind, I assume it's for the graduation recital? Yeah, the vocal part's already been prepped. Chris, what are you... I don't have a partner yet, and that's when I came up with the song. I'm really into it right now. That sounds fun. I don't mind if you practice something you like, but it's about time you find a partner. I know, but if the time comes, just help me out. That thing I mentioned, that's fine. Okay, here's the score. I and Miss Cordero couldn't copy the score that I finished the day before. I look forward to your guidance. The lyrics are only half finished. They'll be done. Well, these certainly aren't your usual lyrics. Is that so? Well, let's hear it. She looked at the score amused. Okay. Oh, it didn't let me do it. It's a little rough on the edges, but it's a good song. Thank you. Perhaps your emotion's the cause, but it's completely changed in a very short time. As the Fortelli instructor, nothing is more interesting. What? The sound from your Fortelli is a rough, yeah? The foundation of practice is repetition. Let's use all our time today to focus on this song only. Miss Cordell even approved. I turned to Forney, but she had a worried look. I don't know if she understood what I gave her and said, it's all good, and returned to the Fortelli. After the morning lesson, I brought her with me to the cafeteria. I was eating pasta, and Forney looked at me with displeasure. What? Why did you choose that song? What do you mean, why? You were happy singing along with it at the end, weren't you? As I spoke, I kept one eye on our surroundings just in case Torta came along. Asuna wouldn't come to school before afternoon, so I wasn't worried. But that's my song, right? And who's gonna sing my song? Oh, I haven't thought about it. Chris? I wouldn't let anyone else sing. That goes without saying. If you say so. I'm sorry, I didn't think it through. I just want to let Miss Cordell hear the song. Why? What? What's up? Why are you practicing a song you won't even play for your graduation? Like I said, I just wanted Cordell to hear it. Before Forney could object, we heard a voice from behind us. Are you talking to someone? No. Morning, Torta. Morning. And how about the partner situation? So-so. I'm out of options. I'm not out of options. Well, that's good. Though, if you can't find anyone, you know I will practice with you. Sure, if it came to that. Those words left my lips, but my heart wasn't in what I said. I probably would never pair up with Torta. Roll. Roll. Once again, I recalled the word. It was true that until now, my time in school had been spent only with Torta. Much more than I'd spent with even my male friend Asano. Which is why Torta and I were so close. That distance had to be increased. You know Christmas is over just a week away, right? I'll practice all of today and all day tomorrow. I'll believe what you say for now. Thanks. I said goodbye to Torta in the cafeteria. Today was Thursday. She had some errands, it seemed. I turned to Forney, who I ignored. Let's go to the practice room. By yourself? You're here? Hello? Just kidding. Well, let's have a change of scenery. Who's over there? I mentioned it before. That's where LaCelsia is at. She probably wasn't there today, which is something I took into account. Val said she couldn't practice on Thursday, so I guess I could just go meet Val tomorrow. I returned forward to my shoulder and walked out the hallway when I heard an unexpected voice. Chris, where you headed? Oh, nowhere in particular. Seriously? What are you... something up today? I couldn't think of anything, but it didn't seem like Asano was joking around. Was something happening? So this is Asano. He looks a little earnest, I do have to say. I didn't notice it during Miss Cordell's class, but observing Forney up close, I clearly saw how intrigued she was by everything. You have no clue, do you? Ah, so like you. So, what's up? It was on the bulletin board, remember? In the hallway in front of the bulletin board, notices for the various courses were posted. I'd always walk right by it, but because Asano or Torta would just tell me the news anyways, I'd never seen inconvenience before. That system wasn't foolproof, but habits were hard to break. Nope, haven't looked. I know you're not interested. I'll pay more attention next time. At this all too familiar exchange, even Asano couldn't help but smile. Ah, whatever. It's not something you'd find interesting anyways. Don't be pompous. We don't have much time, I'll get right to it. There's a special lecture being held in the lecture room B. It's an annual lecture for special third-year students only. Seems, and why now? I know, but perhaps I had a reason to schedule it now. And the speaker is Grave, of House Cesarini. Grave. I did say you wouldn't be interested, but I didn't say it'd be irrelevant. Grave is one of the most famous Fortelli players of all time. You must have some idea of what this lecture means now, right? Yeah, I guess. If I were to gain favor of old Grave, then one's prospects would instantly improve. I guess that's not out of the question. But I didn't really... was interested. So you hadn't forgotten it entirely. Are you ordering me to attend this lecture? No, I'm not going to force you to. If that's the case, I'll pass. I'd said that we were going to be going out to the old music room, so I knew Forney would be bored if the lecture wasn't focused on performance. I expected that answer anyway. Asano dropped the issue right away. What will you do? Are you heading there after all? Yeah. I guess it wasn't a lecture I could have recommended to you anyway. What does that mean? I'll explain some other time. He pointed at the clock indicating he had to go. Thanks for letting me know. I said I expected it, didn't I? Besides, you have things you should be doing. I'd have thought without you would too. Anyways, keep it up. Yep, see you around. Asuna walked quickly towards the first hall. We watched him go, then set out across campus in the direction of the old wing. This place feels different somehow. That's because it's hardly used. We took a narrow path amid of thickly growing forest and finally arrived at a destination. I'd only come here a couple of times, but I liked the atmosphere. I tried listening for Lacelsia, but there was nothing aside from the sound of rain. Forney and I wouldn't have the whole place, or would have the whole place to ourselves today. As expected, no one was here. I guess Lise isn't here today. So what do? We didn't make any promises, so there's nothing to be done about it. Ask someone else. It's past noon. Not gonna do it. I guess if you really want to, it'd be okay. Well, we came all this way to be here. How about performing together? You like that song that much? Yeah, both the song and the lyrics. Who cares about lyrics? I do. That's how much I like it. I'll get it ready and then let's start. Is it okay? I don't think anyone else is here, so we'll be fine. I mean, you should be practicing. Her voice was trembling and she sounded worried. Even so, when I played a few notes, her wings and ears twitched in response. Let us begin. Okay. It's not gonna... I want to play it! By the time we were satisfied with our progress, it was getting dark outside. The long abandoned trees that circled the building softened the impact of the rain against the window. They helped us concentrate on the music even though the building wasn't properly soundproofed. I guess that's enough for today. You didn't practice at all. Even if I won't perform the song, it still counts as practice. And besides, is my fortelli really that bad? No, but you can't spend all your time on this is what I'm saying. There's still time. Compared to the time I had left with Forney, it seemed like an eternity. Of course, in terms of physical time, I'd be with Forney until the graduation ceremony, which now was some time away. But within that time, I'd only be able to put Forney first until preparations for the graduation recital were completed. That's why I want to be things like, you know, just for a little while longer. I did not mean to say it out loud. I did not mean for her to hear that. Chris, I forget I said that. There's nothing to be done. She spoke gently as if she were indulging me. If I'm not watching you, you won't practice tomorrow, huh? Probably. Then there's nothing else to be done. I bring Forney to school tomorrow. When I can't find a partner, she'll say the same thing. There's nothing to do, so let's do our ensemble. I felt our positions had been reversed all of a sudden, but it was so enjoyable I couldn't do anything about it. Yep, there was nothing to be done at all. Let's go. Hold on. I was all prepared waiting for the front door. Forney had been staring out the window, unaware that I'd be ready to leave in such a short time. She slid across the floor as far as she could and skidded the rest away. I scooped her up and headed outside. The morning air felt great and the misty rain wasn't unpleasant. The cold wasn't piercing, and once you get used to the rain, the city could be very nice to live in. Otherwise, the nobility wouldn't have come to this place. Well, aren't you full of energy? Are you going to finally practice? Who knows? If I find someone to practice with, maybe, but if not, how about us? Don't say such things before looking. She sounded angry, but she was enjoying it. Not counting the city, the school was certainly the first place that Forney had seen 2 days in a row. Forney was having so much fun, it seems like she'd forgotten why she was there in the first place. I was glad too because things were easier that way. If only we could perform an ensemble of that song just like yesterday. Why the grin? What grin? You're acting like when you read a letter from Arietta. I wasn't grinning. I'm watching you all the time, so I can't be wrong. She sounded confident, and without any concern for what I had to say, she returned to being captivated by the scenery around her. She seemed so happy. Maybe I should have brought her out more often. Ari. Torda. In the 3 years of living alone, there probably wasn't enough room in my mind. I was a pathetic human being for not noticing earlier. And as if to set things right, I was determined to make the most of whatever time we had left. What an improvement. I can't believe you only started practicing yesterday. I've been practicing at home. Must be quite a lot of spare time on your hands. That's not the reason. Playing the song is what I find most enjoyable now. Enjoyment is a good thing, but don't forget your task. In any case, I wouldn't worry about the song or your fortelli. Okay. You're looking well. Huh? It was a compliment. Look more pleased. I don't see how looking a little well can be taken as a compliment. Suit yourself. I've set the deadline for next Friday. If you haven't found a partner by then it is. Okay, I'll be counting on you. Someone sounds confident. No, that's not what I meant. I said that because I was counting on Miss Cordell to find me a partner. I think she took that the wrong way. Correcting her would just lead me to more trouble. I'll be silent. Continue practicing until then as usual. Don't be late next week. Got it. I packed up my fortele and then placed Forney on my shoulder. I wasn't able to talk to Forney during practice, but I was playing her song and today she sung along happily too. Thank you for waiting. Hi. No problem. I whispered so that Miss Cordell wouldn't hear, but Forney's answer was full of gusto. Tomorrow's Saturday. I wonder if we'll spend the whole day on ensembles for this song. Last Saturday we finished the lyrics in one day, and if we finish the song tomorrow, wouldn't everything be done? I couldn't quite imagine what would happen after that, but in any case, this time had passed exonerably. Whether this path I'd chosen was the best one, no one would know, but in the distant future, only when I'd certainly have the capacity to reflect on the past, I know for the first time if I'd been correct today, but I didn't think my future self would have regrets. I finished my meal with Torta, then headed to the practice room. Foul today? Yeah, she said she'd always at least be in the last practice room down the hallway. If it weren't open, she'd find the closest one, so we'll find her easily. It'd be great if you did some real practice today, right? At a leisurely pace, I walked down the hallway, and then the door to the intended practice room was open and I found the unexpected occupant. Hey Chris, good morning, or afternoon. You gonna practice with me today? Yeah, I thought of going over there, but I guess you're done for the day? You're gonna practice with me? It's been some time, but I thought we could... I'm sorry, the only days I can practice in the afternoon are Tuesday and Thursday. I told you, right? Now that you mention it, I think you may have. You sneaky... Even if I can't today, I'm okay with tomorrow? Maybe the day after? Oh, that's okay. There's no need to come in on the weekend. Tuesday of next week? That's not for a while, so... Alright. I guess in that case I could wait for you to decide. There's not much time left. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's fine. I'll see you around then. Okay, sorry if I said anything strange. Don't worry about it. With that, she left. Unseen to Foul, Forney pulled my ear before the former had even disappeared from sight. What are you playing at? She has something to attend to today. Did you forget something? More or less? Then you could have practiced with her tomorrow, right? It's not like I've chosen her yet. I didn't want to waste the weekend. You're in no position to say that. What's worse, she's the one who offered, and you... She's gonna assume you're not interested, so she won't make that same offer again. But it wouldn't be right to practice this whole weekend and then realize it wouldn't work out, right? So what are you gonna do? Nothing to be done about it today, so an ensemble? I happen to see some empty practice rooms. What's wrong? Where's your urgency? I get it, let's just find a practice room. The first and second years were having lectures, so the hallways were empty. But at this didn't mean that there weren't third years practicing. I didn't want to see anyone apologizing to my shoulder. With one ear pulled, I entered an empty room. Okay, go ahead. Are you serious about a partner? Not really. What? Do you remember what I said to Miss Cordell? If the time comes. You were serious? Of course. Recently, that's all I've been thinking about. Torta, I can't pair up with her. Why not? Because of Arietta. If Torta and I were partners, Ari would get worried. In her letter, she told you to be more comfortable if you paired up with Torta. Still, she and I are too close. Torta has become a given, more so than Ari. Even... I think failing your graduation would be worse than all this. Well, I'll try not to fail. Okay, Falsita, Lucelcia? Foul is, you saw it earlier. She's too good of a person, too good for me, and as for Lucelcia, I'm scared of getting involved in whatever she's in. Scared? She's like a young Arietta, and for that reason she shouldn't be with me, and she's the first here. She doesn't need to pair up. Why are you avoiding others? Because I'd be happy with Arietta here. Then why aren't you serious about looking? That way you already heard why. I'm not getting involved with other people. And so you're gonna pick me? No, you're a separate issue. If I'm undecided by next Friday, Cordell will just give me someone rando. That means I'm free to use however time I want to kill. That's why I want to perform ensembles with you. Why would you say that all of a sudden? I said so much already. I might as well be completely honest. I had a dream about losing someone. Someone important. In the dream, that person was walking away from me and I tried to say their name, but I couldn't say it. It wouldn't come out. It was just a dream, but after I saw you and I put the two of them together. What are you going to do after I graduate? No questions about me. We're talking about you now. Yes, we are talking about me, but you and I are not unrelated, unlike other people. I'll stay in the city. What does that mean? No one else knows you exist. Are you just going to stay in that room by yourself? That's the plan. That room always gets students from the school, so someone else on the same wavelength as me is bound to appear. Yeah, there may be someone like that. And yet, if I said come with me, what would you do? I couldn't do it. I thought that might be the case. Perhaps the dream did foreshadow my parting ways with Forney. Something in my unconscious mind had intuited and presented to me as a dream. But was that all there was to it? If it's not possible, I want to make the most of the time we have now. I'll finish the song and perform it. That'll be an important memory that the two of us can share. I see. That short answer was all she had to say. But it contained acceptance, it contained kindness, and even love. Thank you. I thanked her menacingly and set up the fortele. There's basically a week left and I was only thinking about Forney the whole time. Arietta would understand too. Not as a lover nor a friend. Something like family might be the best description that I felt. That was what's best for her. Performing ensembles together, nothing more. But... let's begin. You don't have much time left if you want to finish this, right? I was glad just to hear Forney sound so happy saying that. Let's stop there. She sounded vibrant. I felt like I'd been playing the fortelli non-stop since yesterday. Make that from the middle of last week. The fatigue was building up, but I didn't mind. Probably because I was enjoying music for the first time in forever. Doing an ensemble with Forney was amazing. Nice work. You never get tired, do you? Well, no. Should it be here by now? I hadn't noticed, but it was the time when Arietta's letter should arrive. You're right. After waking up at 10 this morning, I'd only taken one break, and that was it for lunch. The song was still incomplete, and that was because Forney's lyrics weren't done yet. I did find that to be a welcome development, however. If the whole thing were finished, then this shared time would end too. That's why I didn't ask Forney about that, and I just let time pass. I'll go get it. I took Ari's letter from the mailbox and returned to the room. Forney seemed different somehow and looked glumly in the direction. What's the matter? Nothing's the matter. I was just wondering what expression you'd make as you read the letter. Even though you're always watching. Read it and let's return to the ensemble. She tried to disguise it, but she sounded displeased. I know, just hold on a second. I didn't want to pursue that, so I decided to finish the letter quickly. Dear Chris, how's the rain there? I suppose you must be used to it by now, but sometimes I worry. If it were me, I'd probably sink in depression. I hope that doesn't happen to you, Chris. I'm sorry I keep bringing up the recital in these letters, but it really is important, so I hope you understand. About your partner, what's going on? Torta was worried that you haven't decided yet. She keeps asking questions in your letters, but you're probably doing your best. Whatever the case, let Torta know, and if you don't find anyone, rely on her. I can't help you in this regard, but Torta will stand in my place. You probably think it's not right for me to say this, but we are twins and somehow it gives us insights to the other's feelings. If you ask Chris, Torta will definitely support you. When the time comes, don't hesitate. All you need to do is ask her. But just because I told you to doesn't mean you have to pair up with her or do what you think is right. No matter what the result may be, I will accept it as long as it's the right thing to do. I'm sorry for going on so long about nothing, but soon we'll meet, talk in person, won't we? And so let's continue this at your place during Christmas. I look forward to seeing you again. Oh! Torta Aries coming! Same as last time, if I don't find anyone, just go ask Torta. And you intend on doing so? No, as I told you, that won't happen. I'm relying on Miss Cordell. So you'll start practicing for that tomorrow? Nope, I'll keep up the act until the last lesson before Christmas, and then I'll ask. Cutting it close, are we? So let's perform our ensemble in the practice room, yeah? It'll be the last time if we finish it. Upon hearing my answer, she paused a while and thought. She reconsidered it instantly and said, about the lyrics. Was she going to say she finished them? I need a little bit more time. I'm not used to writing lyrics, you see. No, that's okay. Anyway, my partner-to-be will probably be busy during Natale, so I'm guessing practice will only begin after that. Now that you mention it, it's likely. It'll be done by Natale. Uh-huh. It could be done in one day, such as New Year's or some other day. This is so unlike you, Chris. Normally you'd be incredibly resistant, but recently you've become so proactive. I've had some emotional changes, you know. I'm happy to hear it, so it's all good. That's right. Well, perform a little more? Reply to Eri first. Of course, I won't forget. Arietta was a different matter altogether unrelated to Forney. I truly liked her and there was nothing to change how I felt about her. That's why I intended to write a proper reply. I never neglected her letters. I just had to write down exactly how I felt. When I was writing my letter, Forney was all smiles for some reason, in stark contrast to her earlier mood. Was it because we were about to have our ensemble, or is it because we'd have it tomorrow as well? In any case, thanks to that smile, I was certain that I wasn't doing anything wrong. It was that dream again. Someone was sending unearthly thoughts. Forget. But don't forget. Don't remember, but remember. Today's dream had been a little different from the ones from the past. Those contradicting cries echoed in my head. I was so confused. Amid the confusion, I shot my eyes open. And at the same time, Forney, who was right in front of my face, screamed in surprise. I realized I almost jumped out of bed. That was why Forney, who had been by my pillow, lost her balance. Sorry. You woke up so suddenly, it's why I almost fell. Are you good? Yeah, just a little surprised. What else? Did you see how I slept? She responded nonchalantly. There was nothing else I could ask, so I got out of bed. I gave up on sleep and got out of bed. What are we doing today? School and symbols, same thing as always? Right, that's what I thought. Didn't we decide yesterday to do that till Friday? We did, but I felt like asking. You think it's wrong? No, it's okay. Then, why does she look so forlorn? But don't forget, those words crossed my mind. Was that Forney? I don't think so, but I thought I heard it to be. As all this went through my mind, the memory of the dream grew more distant. Perhaps I should write the words down on paper. Those contradictory thoughts didn't seem to be mutually exclusive, but rather it sounded like they could all be true the same. If it was about Forney, then don't forget made sense. Once I left the city, Forney would be gone. But what would remember mean? If I were correct, it means I'd forgotten something. No, it would be bizarre to think a mere dream could hold a meaning like that. On the other hand, I couldn't believe that my unconscious mind had created the whole thing. Then? Nothing. Ready? Whenever you are. As if hurrying me, she glided from the air to the desk to the front door. I placed my letter to Eri that I wrote in my bag and on a whim opened the desk drawer. What are you doing? I heard Forney's voice at the door. Wait a second. I took out one sheet of paper from the writing set that Eri wrote and wrote down what happened in my dream. I only recalled fragments at this point, but I wanted to record the words. Don't forget, remember. Forney was waiting at the front door, and I was about to put away the dream writings and rush out when I saw an unknown sheet of folded paper next to a stack of Eri's letters. I had no memories of a folded sheet of paper there, and when I unfolded it, it contained a poem. Right away, I knew these were the lyrics of Forney's song. I had no idea how Forney wrote the words, being so small, but they were her, and those lyrics were complete. She said yesterday she hadn't finished writing the lyrics. So either she wrote them yesterday or... For Bach's sake! Sorry, I'll be right there. I won't ask questions. Below the lyrics was fine. Fine, meaning the end. What were you doing? As we walked, Forney asked me in a puzzled tone. Nothing. About the lyrics. I can have until Saturday, right? You said yesterday no one's going to practice on Christmas. Yes. It might be better to pull it all together before that. Eri will be here on Christmas, so we might not have too much time. Better get cracking then. Did Forney want to put off the song's completion too? When that day came, all this time would turn into memories, which was frightening. If Forney felt the same way, was it okay to come to an end? Look who's lost in thought again. Bad habit. She smiled, but I didn't know what she found amusing. When we were alone in the practice room, I took out the unfinished score. Only half the lyrics had been finished, so I hadn't practiced beyond that point. She would only sing the lyrics she conveyed. I took a small joy in that. It's only half finished, but let's try again. Okay. Finally! Well, half finished to our knowledge. Of course, Mastermind Forney's actually already finished the song. Maybe. I want the song to keep going. Feels like such a tease if it just ends there. Forney stopped singing, looking a little dissatisfied. Was something off? No, I just felt like singing it all the way to the end. I see, well that's a good sign. Your fortelli is getting really well, thank you. The performer too was aware of that. Hey, aren't you going to return the compliment? That's a given that you're perfect though. Even so, it wouldn't kill you to say it, you were great, really. Well, don't bother saying it now. Make up your mind. I really meant it, but Forney looked away in embarrassment. You should have just said it from the beginning. Anyway, we've got plenty of time. More. Got it. If we have extra time, shall we try another song? We don't have that much time. Music is the enjoyment of sound. I've missed those words. Yes, famous words. At the music school I attended as a kid, or rather, up until I came here, there was a teacher who said those words before. Well, I'm sure similar phrases exist everywhere. No doubt then, let's just enjoy ourselves. I returned to my fortelli and caught Forney's gaze. Forney was sitting on top of my fortelli in front of me, so our eyes met naturally, without any conscious effort between the both of us. Such closeness would otherwise make me blush, but we were facing each other through music, which made everything else seem so trivial. This truly was a time of joy and of happiness. Hey, Chris. I was eating in the cafeteria as always when she approached me nonchalantly. It was really minor, but something was off from her. I noticed these small things sometimes, perhaps because we spend so much time together. I see you a lot in the practice rooms lately. Have you decided on a partner? That was a nice segue, I had to admit. Ah, so that's what it is. Seated on the table, Forney quietly watched the scene unfold. Her gaze moved back and forth between Torta and eyes before landing on mine with concern. Smiling, I answered Torta. I haven't, but I have someone in mind, so we're good. I see, well that's great, so there's no need to worry. No need at all. Torta nodded, seemingly convinced, and then finished her half-eaten sandwich in a mouthful. What's up? Nothing. Don't speak with your mouth full. You asked a question. I could wait. Her face turned red. Perhaps she was eating too fast. Torta hurriedly drank from her cup and managed to clear her throat. I wasn't paying much attention, but the drink was Torta's favorite. It was hot chocolate. How could she gulp down such a thick beverage? Thinking about it just gave me heartburn. I have some errands to attend to, so I'm gonna rush home now. I see. Today? Tuesday? Yeah, today is Tuesday. Take care. What is there to take care of? I don't know. Half-eaten sandwiches that might make you choke on them? Don't be so annoying. I'm off. See ya. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Torta exited the cafeteria in a bit of a rush. Now I could talk to Forney. I had to speak softly, but luckily I could speak to her up close, so I didn't mind at all. Why didn't you tell her that Miss Cordell was just going to choose your partner? Because if I did, she'd complain. You think she'd say, why don't you just pair up with me? Something like that? She wouldn't be direct, but I suspect it would lead to something like that. Well, that's a great idea if you ask me, but I promised to perform an ensemble with you, did I not? In this situation, I wouldn't mind if you broke the promise, but even so, I'm gonna keep it. Well, nothing to be done. As she flapped her wings, she sounded upset. Okay, let's go to the practice room. Sure. I put Forney on my shoulder and headed out to the practice room for our ensemble, which had become a daily routine lately. The rest of the day went by. Minute by minute, the day of our promise drew near. How long could this last, and what would I do once it's done? I still couldn't imagine what would happen. I only knew that I had to speak to Forney one more time. Will you come with me? I'd asked that question, and if she said yes, if only a day would come. It was a starless night, but I made a wish upon a star. Thinking of the tiny fairy on my shoulder, chatting happily about what happened today. Are you really okay with going to not going to school? Do I have to keep repeating myself? Today's the day Miss Cordell introduces your partners, so there's no reason for me to go. What a shame. And why would you think that? Because we spent so much time together lately. Anyway, you can come whenever you're free. As long as you're quiet like you are during Miss Cordell's lessons, it should be fine. In that case, I'll hitch a ride with you sometime. Sure, just say the word. Okay, have a nice day. See you later. It'd been a while since I walked to school by myself. Forney weighed nothing, so it wasn't like my shoulder felt lighter. But the tickling sensation around my neck, humming in my ear, until yesterday I found them annoying, but I missed them now, and I even felt sad that they'd be gone from my life. When I went out to buy things, mail, it didn't matter. I wanted to be with Forney as much as possible in the time we had left. Good morning. I opened the door in the classroom, but Miss Cordell hadn't come in yet. Whatever happened today, I ought to be prepared. I removed my fratelli and put it in its usual spot. The way I imagined it, my partner-to-be would either come in with the Miss Cordell or be called in after a short introduction, something like a transfer student would. I worried about this person with whom I'd have to spend quite some time with. To avoid trouble, I'd have preferred someone who didn't talk so much, but there was no way I'd have to set conditions on something I couldn't choose. I was depending entirely on Miss Cordell, so whatever the result, I had no regrets. That was the result of putting my time with Forney first. Morning, Chris. Good morning. She entered the classroom alone. Transfer student style, I guess. So this is the last lesson of the year. Yep. And it doesn't seem like you need my assistance, huh? You've been practicing so much recently, I'm relieved. She sounded happy, almost. I had no idea what she was getting on about. What? I heard reports you've been practicing every day with a skilled singer. Reports? I have my own ways of showing concern for students. That's what I've heard. Am I mistaken? No? You've been practicing but haven't made the decision yet? What? Who is she talking about? I've only been practicing with Forney. No one could hear Forney. Who told you about this? Irrelevant. I'd like an answer to my question. I haven't decided yet, but... But what? If you intend to pair up with this person, you should do so. Yeah, I know, but when did you hear about this? 3 days ago, but does that matter? Which meant I could only think of my ensembles with Forney. The song you've been practicing is for that purpose with this person, isn't it? Yes. Did someone hear me talking to Forney? What should I make of this? I wasn't worried about being found out. I even found it amazing. Because maybe someone else would be able to hear her sing. What would they think? How would Forney feel? Chris? Yes? Are you interested in pairing up and she isn't? There's some of that, I guess. The voice student I prepared for you declined. So I'd have to ask her again. Suddenly I had the dreamlike ridiculous thought of performing with Forney at my graduation recital. If her voice could reach someone else, that would be amazing. Even if I left the city, that person would be able to hear her sing and keep her company. Of course, I planned on asking her to come with me, but if Forney wasn't interested, I couldn't leave her to the city. That's why I had to consider the possibility. Until now, no one's ever been able to hear her. Her ensembles with me had to be the key. What I was about to say was just outlandish, stupid, but I couldn't help myself. Not necessary. I'm sure? I mean, for third-year students, the final deadline's January 4th. Although anyone with slight more interest in school life than you would know that. For first and second years, oh god, I can't even imagine this, but if it's not someone from the school, just have her show up on the day. Only the names of the Fortelli players will be included in the program anyway. Okay. Questions? I have a few. But you don't need to ask? That's fine, but by the sound of your Fortelli, you don't have much worrying about. I trust you is what she was saying. Had my sound really changed that much? To the point where a student like me, I could be trusted by this teacher? If that was true, it was just thanks to Forney. Could you let me give you an update on the 4th? The student I have in mind is the 3rd year, whatever, she won't say no. If it came to that, you'll have to play her song due to time constraint. I guess I'd be okay with that. You're a quick learner, so I'm sure it'd come together in time for the recital. With maximum effort, you might even scrape by and graduate. I guess I wouldn't mind that. Who could your potential partner be? I can't even think of anyone you'd be obsessed with. Does it look like I'm obsessed? Would you be cutting things from this close otherwise? I know how you're feeling. It's obvious from the sound you play. I see. As I expected. That's fine. Make sure you convince her in time for the recital. Now then, time for practice. Okay. Miss Cordell was in a good mood the whole lesson. I was in two minds about the possibility of someone else hearing Forney, and added to that I was confused by her cheerfulness. But hearing that from someone who rarely gave me praise made me think I was changing for the better. These weren't the kind of things that you couldn't notice by yourself, so I had nearly zero self-awareness. But I had no choice but to completely trust her words, and if I trusted them completely, then I knew I wasn't doing the wrong thing. Should I tell Forney right away, or would it be better to wait till Natale? I knew there would be a fairly high chance of things being scolded. If no one else could hear her, then I couldn't graduate. But I didn't really care, because that's how enchanted I was by Forney. If I couldn't graduate, I just returned to home. I couldn't make Ari wait anymore, and I had no longer any desire to make it in the world of music. I had to even just feel thankful to return to the fundamentals of simply enjoying sound. I could see such a future for me in store. That's how I learned to care about Forney. However, it all hinged on how I was going to talk to her into doing it. I had up until tomorrow to come up with the words to ask her. I headed to the cafeteria deep in thought where Toyota was already at the usual spot. Morning. Morning, how was your lesson? What do you mean, how was what? What did Miss Cordell say to you about a partner in practice? Convince her is what she said. Oh gosh, so it's a girl? The girl you mentioned on Tuesday? Yep. I couldn't say she was a fairy, could I? And besides, Torta would explode if that came out. Asuna would say just how poetic it was and laugh. One way or the other, everyone would make fun of me. Well, keep it up. Sure. The time for trying is long gone. Are you going to practice after this? No, my partner isn't here today, so I'm going to go home. If I tell Forney something similar, she'll indulge me, at least. I see. Well, I guess I'm leaving too. One more thing, though. Check your mail when you get home. Why? You only check on Sundays, right? That may be so, but what am I looking for? Something from school? You'll see. Well, I'm off to practice. The practice room should be packed last day of school. Without waiting for a reply, she stood up and stuffed the last of her sandwich into her mouth. No talking! She nodded several times and walked out. I watched her go as I prepared a drink in one hand and went back home. As Torta instructed, I went to the mailbox. I knew right away it was a letter from Ari, but I had no clue what was inside. You're early. My partner-to-be couldn't make it today, so there wasn't any practice. I see. Well, welcome home. I dried my hair with a towel and went inside. What's that? A letter from Arietta, I guess. But today's... Right, which is why I'm concerned. I put my stuff down and opened the letter at once. Just one sheet of paper inside, per usual. Dear Chris, sorry for the sudden letter. In my last letter, I said we'd be meeting on Christmas, but I'm sorry. I can't take time off work. I won't be able to go. You must be busy preparing for your graduation recital. I'm busy too working at the bakery. And recently I was able to oversee the whole process from start to end. I even trained some new guys. I should have been able to get time off, but the task made it impossible. I really didn't want to write a letter like this, but you'd get worried if I didn't, so here it is. I knew you'd be busy with the graduation recital, but I never thought I'd be the one saying this. I'm Charlie, sorry. I'll be working hard here in the city, and you'll work hard for me at the graduation recital. Our paths may differ, but our hearts are one. P.S. You'll have a partner by the time this letter gets to you, right? I heard you're not practicing with Tortoise, so it's someone else. Probably a girl is what Tortoise said? That worries me. Whoever it is, let Tortoise know. She's always worrying about you, her. Love, Arietta. What'd Ari say today? She can't come for Christmas. Why not? She's busy with the bakery. She looked down deep in thought and didn't say anything for a while. Forney? Nothing. She responded right away as if to show nothing was the matter. Well, can't be helped. Anyways, I'll be seeing Ari soon after I graduate. True. I'm not that bothered by it. Please, don't worry. Good. Now then, after I'm done writing my reply, shall we perform? What are you going to say? It's a shame that we can't meet, but our hearts beat as one. How corny. Ari wrote it first. Don't knock it. Sure, sure. Someone said to me I'd probably blush. You don't blush. I guess that's true. How's your partner, by the way? Can it wait till after Natale? Why? I might be able to introduce her and it'll be more interesting that way. The real reason was because I get scolded if I told the truth here. I definitely get scolded if it were after Christmas, but perhaps Forney would change her mind just a little if we had the best performance ever on Christmas. You know this person? Secret. You'll know on the night of Christmas. For real? For real. I guess that's fine. Yeah, more reasons to get scolded were really adding up, but it'll all become clear after the day after tomorrow. Now then, shall we? Okay. Hearing the joy in her voice, I felt guilty, but the thought of Forney being all alone was much worse. Was I simply running away from having to deal with the graduation recital? I couldn't deny it outright, which was hard to swallow. Even if I failed the graduation recital, I'd just go back home and I wouldn't have to endure another year of not seeing Ari. Of course, that would also be inconvenience to everyone and should be avoided at all costs. Even so, why did that thought lead me to feel that graduation didn't matter? What's the matter? Great, sorry. Doing as Forney told me, I set up our fortele, and the practice of the day began. Our ensemble, which I thought would end tomorrow, might just go on for a little while longer. I really didn't know if Forney would allow it to, though. Get up. I woke up with my eyes closed. She sounded way too excited. Something was up. Morning, what's up? I got a report for you. Report? Ta-da! She hovered over my pillow. She presented me with a sheet of paper. It was the same paper that I'd found last week when I realized she'd finished the lyrics. I finished the lyrics. Now we can perform the whole song. Yeah, I see. Not happy about it? No, of course I am. Then why the long face? I just woke up, remember? I'd known about it, so I wasn't surprised. And the just woke up part, I guess that was true. But somehow I was really glad to know Forney, like me, had wanted to put off the end of our time together. But thank you, really. She'd written the words with a large pen so they looked very messy. But that just showed how much of an effort she put in. I couldn't help smiling when I read the lyrics. Are you gonna call my writing messy? I know it is. Yeah, it is messy. But it's okay, you did your best. I'll transfer them onto the score. Throw it away when you're done. No, I'm going to take good care of it. You'll laugh every time you see it. Just get rid of it. I won't laugh. It makes me happy, truly. Thank you, Forney. I'll store it alongside Arietta's letters. For real? For real. I think Forney had heard the sincerity in her answer as she flapped her wings several times. Forney looked very eager to get the ensembles underway, so I got out of my bed and changed. I hadn't read the lyrics all the way through when I found them, so I looked forward to seeing them live in person. What kind of poetry would she write? At last our music was complete. Okay, here goes, our first complete performance. Yes. What about breakfast? I don't need it, whenever you're ready. Great, let's get started. Alright, let's get this whole thing going now. I have one wish. I want to be your strength. See it now. Come with me. Kindness is the greatest gift. I don't ask for any rewards because of only love. English. Let's forgive everything. Do what you want. See it? That's right. Just the way you are. Your smile is the sweetest gift. No wonder Miss Cordell laughed at the lyrics. I don't ask for any rewards because of love. Your smile is the sweetest gift. I don't ask for any rewards because... Oh, blue sky, hey look, a great gift. I don't desire anything. Only love. This is the most uplifting song this game has to offer. By like a long, long margin. And it kind of slaps too. Well played, well played. Great job. You too. We looked at each other and smiled. We were both pleased with that performance. It was Forney's first time singing the whole song, but you wouldn't have known it because her voice was just that incredible. I now understood why Torta once said nothing matched Fortele as well as sound. Voice. We've only just begun. There's still tomorrow. Let's take a break. I want to keep performing too. Your partner's going to be introduced tomorrow, won't you? Yeah, but it'll be at night. Well, if that's your schedule, I get it, but what will you do until that time? Ari won't be here, so what about enjoying Christmas together? And by enjoying, you mean going to Mass? The church in the city is fairly large and quite well known. Yeah, sure. Great, in that case, we'll do ensembles all day today. I feel like we switched places somehow. What's wrong with that? That's true. Here we go. Okay. We kept performing till late at night. It seemed Forney truly believed that tomorrow would be the end. The most amazing performance distilled into the most amazing memory of us two. That was one of my goals, but I also wanted to give Forney a future, even if it stopped me from graduating. Such a future didn't seem that bad to me. That dream again. I had it a lot recently, or perhaps it was just the same dream all along and I just never noticed it, like a vision that vanished in the morning light. It ends today, abandon all hope is abandoned. That's the voice repeated, the voice kept repeating the words from before. Remember, don't remember, forget, don't forget. I tried to answer the voice, but I couldn't, although I decided what I had to say. I didn't have the words, but I wanted to give the voice an answer. I had to remember something I forgot, something I shouldn't have forgotten, and then, amid the sensation of floating, reality pulled me back in. Wow, our depression meter is very low. I kept my eyes closed, listening to the sound of the rain. I was about to open them when I heard the sound of Forney's wings. Was she looking at me again? I get it if she did it every day, but it only happened when those dreams happened, so I started to get suspicious. The words from the dreams were still fresh in my mind. I wonder if they were Forney's words. Was she speaking to my ear as I slept and maybe I heard her voice in the dream? In order to find out, I slowed my breathing and waited to see if Forney would say something. You're awake, aren't you? Why are you pretending to be asleep? No, really, what's up? I could tell you're awake. Really? Or was she trying to bait me? I don't know why you're pretending, but I could really tell. Yeah, she really could. She sounded like she was asking a real question. Morning, how could you tell? Watching someone sleep for 3 years, you'll understand. More importantly, why are you pretending to be asleep? 3 years. Someone has a lot of spare time. More or less, so? I thought I'd surprise you, but I just didn't think you'd notice. I didn't feel like talking about the dream. I had no reason to believe that voice was Forney's, but somehow there was a connection. Alright, we're actually going to go ahead and end it here. Tomorrow, new day, and I think we're going to finish it then. This is a lot longer than I figured would actually go on, but there's probably not too much left because there's always like a really weird time skip that happens within the routes. And then I'm just going to look at the CGs real quick. Wait, what? We've unlocked Faye. That's what I was going to check. I guess we can actually see the song now. So we have all the CGs here, we have all the CGs here, and we're missing 4 more. Alright then. I guess just like Chris, I don't want this whole experience to end, so we'll get there tomorrow, you guys. Thank you again. I'll see you guys back here again tomorrow night as we finish up Symphonic Pain. Have a nice night, everyone.